Hi, everyone. Kira Schaefer here. You know me. I hope everyone is doing great. I hope you had a beautiful holiday. We had a great holiday. We did nothing, and it was awesome. It was the best holiday I could ever think of, to just be. Isn't it nice to just be? So I wanted to quickly just go through top three things that keep people from writing their book because it freaks you out. Writing books is freaky. For so many reasons. But the main ones I'll just go over really quickly with you. And let's see if we can, if these are your issues, if we can open up some space in there to just become available to opportunities, possibilities, to creativity, to who knows what. You know, anything's possible, right? All right. So no one will read it, or everyone will read it. That's like one of the number one things. Nobody will read it, and everyone will read it. So it's a double-edged sword for sure. And please, if you're seeing me, say hi in the comments to me. I want to see your faces. I want to see your names. I won't see your faces, but I'll see your names. And so everybody will read it. Nobody will read it. This one is, let's see if we can open up some space around that and speak to what that main fear is, or what that main concern is, because that feeling, where does it come from? Hey, Lisa. So good to see you on here. The main feeling from that, or the main thing that I find from that, can be fear. Fear of being seen, fear of being judged. We'll get into more of that in just a moment. But hey, Dorothy. So the no one will read it feels like rejection in a way, right? But really it comes from just you putting your book out there. And the more you put your book out there, the more people want to read it. I promise you, they want to read what you have to say. They get something from it. They can connect with it. Their heart connects with it, whether it's fiction, whether it's nonfiction, whether you're teaching something, or whether you're sharing your own personal memoirs or stories. People want to see you. They want to hear you, because some of them have the same fears, the same problems. That's why we have so many Google searches, right? Because people are like, I'm having a problem. And I need, you wouldn't lick your pen to type on your phone, but whatever. So I'm doing good. Hey, Felicia. So what we want to look at there is nobody will read it. So it's that fear of rejection. It's fear of not getting out there. And I just wasted all of my time, right? I wasted my time. And believe me, when you write a book, you never waste your time. That is a cultivation of expansion. Journaling is a cultivation of expansion. Trusting your words, trusting yourself, saying what you need to say, getting it out, and then calibrating it, recalibrating it for your audience in a way that they can hear it. So that, what's the ultimate goal? The ultimate goal for most things like books is to provide hope, to provide a space for opening, for allowing, for trusting, for growing, right? And then being that helpmate along the way, even if there's hundreds or thousands of people who never meet you, who never meet Dorothy Welty or Lisa Stern or Felicia Shaviri, who never get to meet you or interact with you, through that pipeline, they're going to see or experience you and connect with that, and maybe grow from that and allow from that, you know. And I'm just saying that from my lovely authors here that have been showing up with me today. So everybody will read it. That's the other fear. What if people read it? What then? What if my mom reads, or my dad reads it, or my brother reads it, or my sister reads it, or what, they know I was talking about them. They know I was talking about them. That's why we changed the names, to protect the guilty. So, Jackie, come here, Bella. Come here. Jack wants to get involved in this process. All right. So everyone will read it, and I'll be judged for it. So either it's rejection or it's judgment, or I'll not be found out as good enough. I'll get found out. I'm a fraud, that imposter syndrome. So how we address this is we've got to say, why are we doing it? Find your core reason, find your core why, keep going back to it and say, I trust this process. I trust who I am. I trust what I have to say matters. I know who I am at my core, at my base of my being, and I'm going to allow myself to shine through this. Yes. Yes. Say yes with me. Say yes with me. Type into the comments, tell me yes. All right. So nobody will read it. Everybody will read it. And you see how conflicting that is in our belief systems, right? Because we think about, I always talk about if it's true for one person and not true for another, then it's a lie. Okay. So we can splinter that old negative belief system or pattern by going, wait a minute. If that's not true for you and it's true for you, but it's not always true for you, why does it have to be true for me? Or why is it not true for me? That kind of thing. So let's just skip it. Let's just level the playing field and say, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if anyone reads my book. I created it. It is mine. And I did everything I could to make it accessible. That's it. All right, next one. I'll get killed with sticks and rocks. That's one of the biggest fears. I think every performer, every creator, every maker, every singer, every dancer, every writer, every artist, to some degree, especially if they're on that leading edge of growth and they're really pushing a bit of a boundary, is that, and this is like lizard brain stuff, like 101 lizard brain stuff. This is survival basics, right? Every single one of us has that sense that if we put ourselves out there, something bad could happen. And we've seen it throughout history, major changes that people want to make in this life experience, that they have this finite amount of time to change something fundamental in their life or in the lives of others. They face this. Felicia is not a stranger to this. I don't think any of you guys are a stranger to this. Lisa, Dorothy, anybody who's listening, you're listening to this for a reason, for a purpose. This might be it. That if you are on that leading edge of growth and you are speaking to something that is challenging, that's even that's edgy. Like if you're speaking to something that people are afraid of, there is something in us, a mechanism in us that wants to pull away and protect. And not only that, but the people in your life around you can want to do that too. They can want to be like, wait a minute, don't say that. Shh, don't do that. You're going to kill with sticks and rocks, right? Well, what the hell is the point of living? You're not willing to put yourself out there and potentially get killed with sticks and rocks. It all ends up being within your own belief system and how far you're willing to go. Sometimes authors will tone down their message a little bit to make it more accessible to a lot more people. I work with enough fringe authors who speak about things like pedophilia, that speak about things like family emotional physical abuse, that speak about racism, that speak about bigotry, that speak about end of life care, that speak about things that are scary to a lot of people in a lot of ways. And they're brave. They're courageous. And not one of them has been killed with sticks and rocks. If anything, I certainly in my heart and soul have rewarded them just by my absolute unending praise, because it takes a lot of guts. It takes a lot of guts to talk about things that are on the fringe. And I know sometimes traditional publishing, things like that, they're like, well, this isn't mainstream enough. If you find it in your heart that you say, I want to stand with my message I want to put it in a book. I want to speak to this issue, this problem, and I want to champion it. I say, if that is in your heart to do it, always stay safe, always protect yourself. But if it's in your heart to do it, please do it. We need more beautiful voices like yours. So let's open up some space around getting killed with sticks and rocks. We have to decide personally, each one of us has to decide what we're going to do with the message that has been put in our heart to share. And whatever that is for you, I commend you. I applaud you. I love you. Continue to champion. I believe in you, and I believe in your message, your heart, and your thoughts. Trust that you are safe. Trust that that divine principle that protects you, protects me, protects us all, to whatever degree that must be, and whatever it is that we're creating in our life experience at any given moment is good. It's good, and it's happening for our good, even if sometimes it feels bad. You have a lot to do in this world, and I trust you will know exactly what that is at exactly the right time. And whatever that means for you, if it's writing, if it's speaking, if it's doing videos, if it's connecting, whatever it is for you, I trust that everything is going to unfold perfectly. So allow yourself to open up to the idea that you're safe. And that doesn't mean something bad can't happen. And I don't know what all of that stuff will mean. But I do know that I have seen people create magical things in environments that have been the most challenging. So trust yourself, trust your words. You've got this. The next one. Hey, Patricia. Hey, Patricia. Oh, you're so sweet. The next one. Okay, this is because I got a big mouth and I'll say whatever I want to say. I don't really have the whole kill with sticks and rocks thing. I don't care if anybody reads anything I write. So those are not really my big problems. This one is my biggest problem. Next. Thank you, Lisa. Yeah, I needed to hear it too. I feel like it's coming up from a loving, deep place for us all here. So this is the one that gets me. I just don't think I'm that creative. I really don't. I'm like, what am I going to write about? What am I saying? And so then that could go into nobody cares. So we can follow the different threads, right? And we can say, I'm going to follow, and I'm like, but then I look at like YouTube videos and I look at all this stuff and I'm like, oh, they look like they really know what they're doing and they're really smart. And how do they make all those animations and shit like that? And I'm like, I can't do any of that stuff. Like, I don't know. I'm just going to say things and I hope people like it. So I fall into that pit of, I'm not creative. I'm not super mainstream. I don't consider myself a really great writer, really on top of it type of thing. I don't feel like I have great descriptive language. But whenever I put any writing out, people tend to like it. So I think with this one, to open space up in it is to keep writing, keep journaling, keep connecting with your writing. Go and look at some of these books out there. There's some really great books that help with adverbs and adjectives and stuff like that. If you need to expand, because my very goods and my really reallys, they're my crutches. And, I'm like, well, what's another word for hopeful? And so sometimes we just need to break out the thesaurus, man, and just like, be like, what am I trying to say here? And let yourself do that. You don't have to have all of the answers all of the time in your mind. You're probably not an English lit major, and you do not need to be a published author. Trust me, 1000% on that. You don't even have to have any advanced degrees, nothing like that. So that being said, it's good for us to have a creative space to just be like, oh, I could totally say it like this, or this really hits my heart whenever I read something like that. That makes sense to me. That helps me understand this whole thing better. I can understand this terminology better because they're using more descriptive words than just very and really, like your friend Kira. So just keep that in mind. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't have to be the best writer. You don't have to be the most creative person in the world, and also too, if there's certain creative elements to your life that you like painting or cooking, or you like sewing or anything like that, sometimes that helps us to get into the mindset of our writing. So we can look at something and we can describe it. Take something simple that you see every single day. Take your curtains, and describe them in 3 different ways. Describe them as the texture, describe them as the color, describe them as what they sound like when they pull apart. Talk about the light that comes through the window and how that feels to you, or the lack of light. And so you can open up to potentially creative spaces and creative ways that people will want to read your writing more and more. Hey, Janae. All right. Let's see. So we have the 3 main things, and I hope we open up some space in these for you today. The first one is nobody and everyone will read my book. Sure. Right? It's so hard when we have that flip in our mind, because there are some people that believe both of those things, and sometimes some days are different than others. It doesn't matter. The process is yours. It's not about them. It's about you. It's about you having put that pen to paper or whatever, and you said, hey, dude, this is me. And then after you've said, hey, dude, this is me, then you edit it to make sure the hey, dude makes sense to people who might be reading it. Be courageous. Be courageous. You won't, I really do not think you'll get killed with sticks and rocks. You might have to suffer some slings and arrows of outrageous fortune. Wouldn't that be nice? Yeah. But just keep in mind that you and your personal power is grounded in something even greater than you'll ever know, even greater than you'll ever know. And so hold to that and honor it. And then finally, get creative. See what's going to happen next. Who knows? Anything's possible. People will want to read your book. I'll want to read your book. Does that help? All right, guys. Thank you so much. Again, thank you, Lisa, Dorothy, Felicia, Patricia, Janae. Thank you guys for joining me. I love you guys so much. You're such beautiful people. You're beautiful authors. You're beautiful writers. You matter to this world. You matter to me. You matter to my heart. And I know I've kind of been away for a little while, but this year is going to be a good year for all of us. I trust that. I know that. I believe in you. Mwah! Keep shining your beautiful, brilliant, gorgeous light. Keep writing. You have got this. I love you. Mwah!